Hello all you wonderful people, this is Angel here, and we're resuming our Let's Play of TFTC Reimagined with the first mission of Battle 1 today. Did you notice there's a secret order guy up here? I didn't notice that for ages. Anyway, I think we'll first go into the pilot's room, or the crew quarters, and yeah, let's have a look around here. So, the crew quarters was all done by UAL or UL002. He remade everything in here, including using his own cosplay outfit for the uniform and a few of the other items that you'll see pop up in here. But crucially, he did all the emails. As you may remember, X-Wing Alliance has an email system, and these have all been rewritten for TFTC, both Classic and Reimagined. And yeah, I think this really adds a nice bit of flavour to the mod. Sometimes giving a bit of extra context, maybe being transferred to another sector, yeah, that sort of thing. And yeah, it's a nice little bit of flavouring to the mod. It's not necessary, but it just, I think, adds to the immersion quality. So this is actually the second mission I ever reimagined, after Battle 1 Mission 2. It's not too different from the original version in Classic. A few more ships, a few more things to inspect, a few more fighters flying around. When I started doing this, my initial real objective was just to make the missions feel a bit more lively, a bit more lived in.
Down and be extra careful.
So we're at a transfer point here, or a patrol point, D-34, and ships are coming and going with cargo. We're next to presumably a colonized planet. Or inhabited planet.
Be assigned to the TIE fighter squad.
And yeah, your first assignment, I just wanted it to really feel like, here we go, out on the frontier, inspecting your craft, doing your duty for the Empire, and it's a nice easy mission to start the game.
Squadron Delta will remain on standby for a
But yeah, it's not too different from the original, and a lot of the first initial missions that I start doing are kind of like this. They don't really deviate much from the original versions. It's just a more expanded upon version. It's only until you start getting into battles 4, 5 and 6 and onwards that it starts deviating a lot more from the original missions that you might remember from the original Classic. And this kind of goes along with how much more confident I became making missions and editing them and just trying to push the boat out a bit more on what I wanted to see or what could be done. So here we are, Outpost D-34, and you can see immediately we've got some freighter traffic flying around. It feels a bit more busy, like there's stuff going on. And you can hear actually some of the original in-flight audio interweaved with my own audio. I didn't really see a need to re-record some of the old in-flight audio. It suited the job just fine. And that's actually a bug. When you go to the external camera, that's not supposed to happen. It's kind of cool because it kind of gives you a big overview of the map, as it were. But yeah, that's not supposed to happen. It's a cool bug. I like it. And yeah, here we go. That's Lady Luck. Well, it's not Lady Luck, but it's what Lady Luck's model is. So yeah, adding more freighter traffic to inspect here and taking advantage of the extra ships that X-Wing Alliance already has on offer. And these freighters, for example, these are in the editor you can basically tie a bunch of containers together with an engine on it, and yeah, just a nice big cargo ferry, as it were. And here are the original ONTS or ONTS freighters with the Rebels.
Warning. Illegal cargo.
And you might have noticed the music suddenly changed there. The music, whilst not quite nearly as dynamic as the original IMUs in TIE Fighter, basically changes depending on what's going on. When I initially started doing this, the music treats anything that's not allied as basically, okay, that's trying to change the music to something a bit more basically what you're hearing. Like something important's going on, or there's something urgent. But I really wanted to have that nice, quiet, easygoing track that you start off when you fly. And to do that, I had to set the craft to be allied.
Alert.
So anything that's allied or friendly in the area, it just has the music set to a quite nice, easygoing, everything's fine kind of music, and it gets to a more triumphant, everything's fine music as well. But the thing is, by setting them to allied, if you start firing on the freighter that you need to capture, you get warned that you're attacking a friendly craft, which you're not. So, little trick, I just had the ship, at least that flight group, defect to a non-allied team as it's been inspected, once the rebels were inspected. And then the music changes appropriately because, suddenly we found something, and now it's time to get into action, and that also solves the problem of you not firing on a friendly craft.
Nice.
Now, as far as the battle goes here, it's just an expansion of the original. Instead of just a small handful of rebels coming in, you've got a lot more waves coming in, as well as the shuttles. But it's a fairly easy fight. You can only lose this if you're not paying attention.
Craft to inspect. Hey, 3. Need to shake that bandit off your 6.
Keep it up!
Keep it up.
This is 4, on the way. Another bandit down!
Good pressure on them. Damn.
Primary target update. They have been captured.
And yeah, whilst the mission itself isn't all that different, I think already you can just see that a lot more going on, a lot more traffic. It just feels a bit more lived in, like a living world, as it were, as much as it can with this engine. So here we have a brand new ship added to the game. This is the Naboo cruiser, or at least a civilian cruiser.
They craft.
Illegal narcotics detected on the Cinder.
It was just one of those sort of random freighters that I wanted added to the game. I just picked out of a bunch, and this was one I chose. I think I use it one more time. I think it was in Battle 4, some random traffic. But it's a nice little ship I like to use.
Wash it up.
And I added the extra objective here. There's more narcotics you can find and disable here instead of just the freighter arms, because I think in the original there's just one freighter with the narcotics.
Good work.
And yeah, I quite like the design of this ship. It's a nice flying wing.
Ladies, we have captured the rebel freighter.
And there we go. We've already completed the mission.
All TIE fighters.
You don't have to inspect these second waves of craft, just like the original. Bit of engine wash. So yeah, X-Wing Alliance added a feature called Engine Wash. You might remember in the original games that you could just sit behind the engines of an enemy starship quite often and just happily shoot away without worrying about being hit by their lasers, because you're basically in a blind spot. And I think the Engine Wash was basically their solution to that problem. I mean, it makes sense. If you're near the engines, they're putting out a lot of energy, a lot of heat that would damage your ship. So yeah, it stops you from basically cheesing starships. We turned this feature off for Classic in 1.2, so it basically emulates the original, but for Reimagined we kept it in. We kept most of the X-Wing Alliance mechanics in Reimagined. Yeah, nothing particularly threatening from the rebel side, just C-95s, a few transports and a few shuttles. Easy to deal with, nothing with missiles. And you can see in the left there the modified Corvette I added. I felt that the transfer point should have something a little beefier than just a few fighters defending it. So a single modified Corvette just seemed to make sense just to have as an extra patrol ship. You can see the planet in the background there. Yeah, I just wanted to make it feel like you're at a busy transfer point. There's an inhabited planet below you, freighter traffic going in and out. And yeah, that's mission 1. Nice and easy. Pretty hard to lose this one, at least in my opinion. Can't speak for all of you out there.
You have discovered a freighter full of rebels trying to escape from their base on Hoth.
Excellent work. As we expected, fleeing rebels are trying to sneak through this sector. The interrogation of these prisoners should help us in tracking more of them down.
Also, the dialogue here isn't all that different from the original as well, but again, as you go forward, the dialogue starts changing. I'm going to talk about this more in Battle 1 Mission 2, and well, I'll talk about that more when we get there. And let's go back to the pilot's room and see if anything's changed. And yes, we've got our first little memorabilia, TIE Fighter model. As I said, UAL, I need to decide on his name. I'm going to just call him UL2. He made all of this memorabilia, and again, adds flavour. Just makes it feel lived in. And here we go, first new email. Yeah, always make sure you're fully powered down, guys. So yeah, that was Battle 1, Mission 1. Join me next time for Mission 2, and until next time, good hunting.